There is a war on Black YouTube between the Black Passport Bros and Black dating coaches, right? And for those of you who think this is something that's new, it's not. It's been going on ever since, kind of the Black manosphere kind of got involved. And the dating coaches may not consider themselves a part of the Black manosphere, but they are a part of the Black manosphere community. Guys like Steve the Dean Williams, Mr. Lucario, Alpha Male Strategies, Alan Roger Curry. I would even say guys like Ron Will, self-help guys. These guys might necessarily not be in Black manosphere communities as related directly, but they're definitely associated, right? And you have dating coaches who don't even like each other. Listen, Steve the Dean doesn't like Alpha Male Strategies and vice versa. But now when it comes to the Passport Bros and Alpha Male Strategies and Mr. Lucario have had their issues. I've had my issues with Mr. Lucario here and there. But what you're going to get is dating coaches are always going to say, you need game wherever you are. The Passport Bros are going to always say, you PUAs, pickup artists or dating coaches, you're basically just trying to run the bag up on everybody to try to get these women in the United States that the relationship isn't going to go anywhere. So guys are going to end up spending their money. They can take that money, go overseas, get a better looking woman, and then they don't need game. Those are the core arguments of both trains of thought. All right. So now with that being said, let's focus on Steve the Dean Williams. Now, Steve the Dean Williams is a guy I've been knowing for quite some time. We used to be on the Brother Pill together. We used to have some amazing live streams here on this channel. But now Steve the Dean put up a post. Now in this post is Ron Isley. He is the legendary singer of the Isley Brothers. He's 81 years old. And the lady that he's in the picture with is his lovely wife, Candy Johnson. They've been married for quite some time. She's 44. He is 81. Okay. Now Steve the Dean Williams puts up this post and says he's 81 and didn't go overseas. So basically what Steve is saying is, here's a black man who is 81. He got a woman to submit in the United States who is significantly younger than him. And he didn't have to go to Colombia to do it, or to Brazil to do it, or to the Dominican Republic to do it. What's your excuse? And now there were a lot of comments under that particular post, and I'm not going to really read those right now. You guys can go check it out for yourself. But I kind of want to talk about that, right? Because you do have men in America who are having success with women. Now, I like the dating coach guys because you know what? A lot of times, and I still feel the same way, that the dating coaches, no matter where you are, like especially if you're in Africa, you're in English speaking countries, the best looking women you always see, in my honest opinion, are the ones that are in the field, the ones that you don't know. So, sometimes you go up and you talk to chicks and you try to see what you can do and how to approach. And it pretty much, the information, if it's good, it works everywhere. It doesn't just work in, Kenya. It works in New York City. If it works, right? But there is rejection coming in approaching. And a lot of guys get played, girls don't call back and all that stuff. And I get it. But now, if we really want to be honest, a guy like Ronald Isley is somebody that is called a high value guy in a way, because high value guys are really not in the entertainment industry, but he's close to it. He's been a singer for many years. He's reinvented himself many times. I don't know if he's gotten surgery, but he damn sure looks young as hell than he did like 20 years ago. He looks way older. I don't know what the hell he's done now. He about 25 now. But, this dude is somebody in the industry. She's also in the same industry. So by the time she meets a guy like him, she's open to him because of what he does. It's a permanent interest. Now, okay, we got to look at that, but also he has to have some kind of ability to be able to woo her. He has to be able to convince her he can lead. He has the ability to provide for her and take care of her as a man. And that is part of having game, because relationships are long-term, and the longer a relationship is, you do got to have more game, in my honest opinion, because, it's kind of easier to be like pumping and dumping chicks and stuff, but to keep a woman interested in you, especially a black woman, it is more of a challenge because you're going to get more tests. But now I think that the guys who are complaining about maybe what's going on in America are not necessarily guys like Ron Isley. These guys, I feel, are like guys who are like middle class to like upper middle class. And one of the things I think that Austin Holloman blew up because he doesn't necessarily look like the kind of the passport bro that we might think. Austin Holloman looks like he can be a dating coach. He doesn't look like a passport bro because he's young. He looks like a kind of guy that a lot of women will want to date. But it reflects that the game of today is more or less about social class. And when you look at Isley, that's what this is about. He's already rich. He's already successful. He's one of the greatest R&B singers of all time. He's known in the industry. So his professional career and him being successful there helped him in securing this particular mate. So that would work anywhere. The problem is for the guy who is not Ron Isley, the guy who is, your truck driver, you're a barber, you're a plumber, a guy who could even make $200,000 a year. You might even be the guy who's the lawyer. You might even be the guy who's a nurse practitioner, could be even the doctor, but you have a hard time because many women who are attractive like her, they have many options. How do you get them to choose you? Now, we all know, for example, if you're a man and you're a guy who's doing well, top 20%, top 25%. In theory, women should be really interested in meeting a guy like you. But in all actuality, those women will look at you as like, you're nothing and you should be glad I talked to you. I think this is the problem because guys go out on dates, they get dates, and they close the deal to a certain degree, but then they might not get a second date, or the woman takes a long time to text because attractive women typically have a lot of options. So now when you're talking about a guy like Ron Isley, if he texts you, a woman's not going to be like, oh, I'm going to wait till a day or 5 days or 10 days to respond. It's fucking Ron Isley, right? Any man who's successful, a woman is going to put you to the top of the priority list because of who you are. And I think a lot of the dating coaches, we got to understand that game is great. But now if you're a guy and you have tangibles that you can do, you have things you can offer to change women's lives, it helps. The average guy is not like that. Or the woman don't even think he's like that. If you're the average guy and you're making 70, 80 grand a year, how likely is it that a woman is really going to choose a guy over you that makes $500,000 a year? Now, she might choose to engage you if she's super attracted to you. She might be with you momentarily. But for a long-term relationship, most women are trying to secure the guy who can provide. And that's one thing that I think a lot of times dating coaches can leave out of that, is that women are looking for long-term securities, and guys who have a name and who are established are going to get pushed to the top of the list. Ron Isley is just not like some 81-year-old dude who's a retired military guy with a wife that looks like that. That's not the average guy. He's a legendary singer, so of course he doesn't go overseas. So I don't even understand in that case. I mean, I see what Steve is saying, and Steve is trolling. But now you have to understand that the game is also about you having game and then also having something to offer. Because you can have all the game in the world, but what do you got to offer? Now, I get it, like for the average guy, I'm just saying. Now, if you're a guy that has extra charisma and all kind of stuff, I mean, I'm just being real. But if you're the guy that really has a lot of stuff going on, it helps. Shout out to AMS to stay on your purpose. It helps. If you're a guy who is a millionaire, it helps. You're a guy who got assets, it helps. You run a business, it helps. Being a leader of organizations, it helps tremendously. Like, why are we going to sit here and act like it doesn't help when it does? So I think that's what kind of dating coaches leave out, like money doesn't matter or things like that don't matter. And it does matter. Careers matter. Connections matter to women. Yeah, some things can slide on. A woman would typically never mess with an 80-year-old dude, but for the right guy, like let's look at Kevin Samuels. He's 57. How many young women 20-something years old saw will date a 57-year-old guy? Okay, but if it's Kevin Samuels on him, it's different. Right? Right. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell. We're out.